Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be doing a chatty video talking to you about things I wish I knew before I went into sixth form and before I started A-levels. I'm just going to pretty much get straight into it because it's back to school. People will be going into year 12 and 13. But I'll just make a little bit of an advice video for you all. I asked over on my Instagram topics to talk about, questions to go through, and I'm going to go through those as honestly and truthfully as I possibly can. Yeah, enjoy it, and I hope this helps you in some way or another. I'm going to start off with one of the main ones that I got quite a lot of, like how different are A-levels to GCSE? How big is the jump? What happens going from one to the other? So I did make some notes actually about this. Start off with the teaching style. From GCSE to A-level is completely different. The teachers will 100% treat you more like adults. It'll feel more chill in a way. If you've got nice teachers, it's more chatty, more kind of sociable lessons, more interactive. You're completely more independent. This is kind of just seen throughout the whole year, because instead of kind of wanting to get that grade in GCSEs, you're literally working towards getting into uni. That drive has to be there for you to know that's what you want to achieve, and if it's not uni, then obviously own personal end goal. You have to have that motivation because the teachers won't be after you as so much as they were in GCSE. Yeah, that effort has got to be there. One is that people change. Your friends change so much and you do not even realise it. We had the summer, went back in A-levels. Obviously it was COVID time, so it was very messy for me, but everybody just was so much more mature. It just felt like everybody just got on. There were no little bits of drama like you got in the years below. It was all purely just nice people. Everybody got along, even different friendship groups. You just realise that people do just grow up a little bit more. It's almost like they realise this is the time. The whole thing itself, you pick 3 or 4 A-levels. GCSE you get like, how many subjects is it, like 10, 11, 12? In that sense, completely more easy. However, I'm never ever going to say that it's more easy, because it is not. The amount of content in each A-level that you need to learn is ridiculous. GCSE, I know it's hard learning so many subjects and that you don't want to revise. The benefits of A-levels, obviously you're doing subjects that you really enjoy, but the content in them is so much heavier. So not just that, there's more of it, it's obviously harder stuff as well. So you are responsible for a lot more things when you're taking A-levels compared to GCSE. It's all down to you, how hard you want to work, what your end goal is. Got a lot asking for revision techniques. You have this very old video that I made ages and ages ago, which feel free to check out. I still do stand by a lot of those. I didn't actually end up like making flashcards to revise for in the end. If I could go back, which I'm sure I say this throughout most of the video, I didn't start making revision materials literally as soon as I got there, because coming to your end exams, it would have been so much more helpful to just have like little stuff there. However, I still managed. For me, it was more past papers, going through past papers, looking at mark schemes, practicing essays, like more physical stuff. But also for saying that, for history, I was still learning that content with like mnemonics and stuff the day before the exam and things like that. It was a bit of a whole sort of mess. For a lot of people, that's just what it's going to be. So got on asking, how will you be taking notes, digitally or on paper? Started doing it on paper. Even when it was online school, I was still doing it from my books. However, towards the end few months, I completely switched to my computer. Biology, I still think I wrote them paper all the time, but history, defo typing was easier. I can't really say which is better in that. It just depends if you prefer writing things down or if you prefer typing, I guess. How to keep yourself motivated when studying. So I just romanticize the aspect of studying. I think there was just something in my brain that told me I'm not gonna get the grades I want if I don't study. I'm not naturally really smart. I have to work so hard, you know, to get the grades that I want. I always had that in the back of my head, that if I was to sit on my bed on TikTok all day, nothing was going to happen. Saying that, I did do that a lot of the days as well. It's the balance between it. You can't study every single day of your life because you'll just get miserable. A little voice telling me you've got to study, otherwise nothing's going to happen, because I knew that if I didn't, I would not get the grades. That's what always in the back of my head I told myself, this is what has to happen if I want to get there. But balancing stuff is super important too. Taking breaks. I found that making my study videos was so incredibly helpful, because it made me crack on. I didn't have that lazy time like I would have if I wasn't filming. anyway. Even if you don't have a YouTube channel, just put your camera up anyway, because it stops you from going and doing stuff so much. Yeah, thank you YouTube, but that was definitely another thing that helped me a lot. I'm going into year 13 in a few weeks. What would you recommend on how to pick uni? Okay, well, it goes so fast. I cannot express that enough. 1 minute I was like, I have bags of time, I have all the time in the world to choose what uni I want to go to. Next minute I'm applying on UCAS. I would say definitely look location, massive factor. The course, see what you want to do, massive factor as well. You can also look at league tables, wanting to see what the best ones kind of are for your course, and that's really what I did. I picked ones that had lower grades and high grades, put one as my insurance if it all went awfully wrong. Obviously in the back of my mind when I applied, I always knew that I wanted to get in Edinburgh. They were the last ones to give me an offer. I did actually manage to get offers from all 5 of my unis. Applied to University of Leeds, Newcastle Uni, Liverpool John Moores, Aberystwyth in Wales, and then Uni of Edinburgh. And Uni of Edinburgh it is, and I'm going there in September, so exciting. But how do I deal with the amount of content? There isn't really a specific answer to this question, and it really is dependent on you. If you want to stay on the ball and not get behind with stuff, you have to keep up with doing stuff. Do your homework as soon as you get them. And I feel like I can say that easily, but I definitely did not do that a lot of the time. You live and you learn, basically. Again, if I was going back, pretty much do your homeworks when you get them, because they will just build up. Make your class notes, make your revision results. You know, when it's a long day, you just want to come home and relax, and that is fine to do. Sometimes I just regret not spending an hour of my time catching up on things, because an hour, when you look at it in perspective, is absolutely nothing. I will have spent an hour scrolling on TikTok that I don't even remember anything about. And try not to stress yourself out about it. Yes, there is a lot of content, but if you are willing to learn all that content, memorize it, it's really not as bad sometimes as people make it out to be. It just depends on your mindset of trying to learn it, I think. Is sixth form as hard as everybody makes it out to be? Yes and no. GCSEs to sixth form, I was like, oh my days, I'm gonna feel like an adult. When I was at GCSEs, I used to look up to those sixth form people, and I thought, wow, I am gonna feel like such an adult when I'm one of them. I cannot wait. No. I feel like everybody around you maybe affects you a little bit more to become more mature and adult-like, but it's still the same. Things that are harder, learning other stuff. Hopefully, in terms of your social life at sixth form, it should be better than GCSE, I'd say. It's just a better environment overall. It is hard. If you are not motivated, if you don't put the effort in, then you are going to find it hard. You've got to know to work hard if you do want to like find it easier. It really depends on the person. What was the most difficult subjects? I literally found all my subjects very difficult in different ways. I think every A-level subject is hard. Art, obviously, people might be like, oh yeah, but you don't do tests for that and stuff, but the amount of time you have to spend on it is ridiculous. All that time you spend on art, I'm thinking, oh no, I should be spending it on doing biology, history. Biology, mark schemes, content heavy. History, remembering the content. We did like politics in our history. I only had like very basic knowledge when I started that. Don't get me wrong, it was interesting 100% when we knew about it. You've just got to face them, listen to your teachers, they know best. When should I start revising for exams? I made study videos to revise for my mock, so I was kind of revising sort of on and off all the time, but I did forget a lot of the stuff. After I'd done my mocks, I did forget pretty much everything. I'm definitely a person who needs to learn the stuff short before the exam, especially like specific facts for history. Let me look when I was taking like my first kind of photos of the exam period. I was still completely having like a good social life in April, you know, I was going out to places, I was visiting unis as well and things like that. Probably say April is the best time to crack down, especially if you've done no work beforehand. Tips on how to focus after a long day. Have that motivation, put in that effort, take breaks, look after your mental health. It's a whole balance of different things. You just tell yourself to do half an hour, 1 hour is better than nothing. Saying that, like, don't overwork yourself too, because that's just not good. How much time do you spend on work outside of school hours? I spent a lot of time revising. When I filmed a YouTube video, I could spend the whole day pretty much revising. 3 weeks, 4 weeks before the exams, it was like solid revisions. But that's because I knew that I had to revise that much to get what like I wanted to achieve. So different depending on different people. You do what you think that you can do. Feel super tired the next day because you've done too much revision, then obviously don't do that again to yourself. You need to get to know yourself, how much you can do. Okay, how to spend free periods. Year 12, they definitely weren't spent productively, and I feel like everybody that I speak to pretty much says that as well. And at that time, nothing feels stressful, nothing feels like it's around the corner until you go into 13, but truthfully it is around the corner. It was so fast. At the time nothing much happened because it was just like everybody was chatting to friends and stuff. I kind of knew in my head as well that I could just go home and do it anyway. That's literally what I said. Even in year 13, when people were revising around me, I find it hard to study in situations have lots of noise. If you won't study at home, 100% make use of your frees, 100%. How to manage studies and life together. It will be hard. You've got to have a balance of things. My YouTube definitely helped me because I was making study videos anyway. That's kind of side of having a job. I was very, very lucky, and I'm so grateful that I kind of had that. Considerate of other things like going out with your friends. The next day tell yourself that you're going to have a study day. If you're struggling, you are not the only one out there. I think this video is going to be very long, so I'm going to do this as the last question. I might even make a part 2. Honest opinions of the subjects you took. Well, let's start with art. I loved it. Really difficult at times, very stressful at times, but since I'm going on to do that in the future, I would hope that I loved it. It's time consuming when teachers want you to do one thing and not another, getting marks back, trying to change that mark because the art really know what is going wrong and how to improve it. You're a lot more on your own, but saying that, we still have sport, but you are a lot more on your own compared to GCSE. You're not told what to do, you have to think of things yourself. It was good. I would recommend it if you like art. I'd only do it if you are fully committed. Now I'll move to history. Loved it in GCSE. I used to be good at it in GCSE. I was like, why not take it for A-level? It was good. We had the best teachers full time, couldn't fault them. The content is just so hard. My memory just is not great. I did find it hard to remember stuff. That's why I had to do it so close to the exam. And don't even get me started with like the Russian names. Essay writing, thought I'd absolutely hate it. Ended up getting like good marks the whole kind of way through. It made me think like, maybe I can write essays, because I didn't think I was that into that, but we had lots of practices, you know, mocks and things like that, so it did really help. Biology, really interesting content, I'm not gonna lie, it is interesting, but I just cannot with the maths and the application during those exams. It's just not the nicest. I feel like if you've got the motivation and effort to memorize that stuff and be able to apply it, 100% take biology. Obviously you'll need to take it anyway if you're going into medicine. It's one of the most popular A-levels, which does surprise me a little bit. Again, I kind of took it because I enjoyed it at GCSE. I came up with a really good mark in GCSE. I don't know if I regret it. I feel like I just messed up on the exams quite a lot. You can't change that now. It's done and dusted. I got into my first choice anyway, if that really matters, but the stress of it killed me. I might insert a video here of literally me crying my eyes out after the second paper. It wasn't great. I feel like I made stupid mistakes though. I think that was the issue, because I came out of it. Oh my days, what just happened? Let me know what subjects you'll be taking. I'm very intrigued. Results day, this video will probably be out after that, so I hope you got the results you want. It's a bit irrelevant, but look what just arrived. My little mascot for uni. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give it a huge thumbs up and subscribe down below. Get ready for the uni content because it is coming soon. However, next week there will be a very exciting vlog. Keep your eyes peeled for that. I hope this video helped some of you, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.